Hi guys, it's Lyra. This is Obviously Dreadful. Obviously, I have a head full of dreads and quite a lot to say. Many opinions, most of them unpopular ones. If you're new, stick around, have a chat. Maybe we can be friends. If you're one of my returning subscribers, I love you. Now guys, I'm running this intro right into the video for one of the first times because like I just said in my previous video, I am back. So as you know, there's been quite the stir recently about the change in voter ID law, etc. from Georgia. And, you know, the left is not happy about that. That is our Cist. We have the MLB pulling the game out of there because of it. We have so much nonsense that it's mind-boggling to me. So I want to share a video with you that, you know, about how do people feel about, you know, is it racist to require ID, etc. And you're going to be amazed by the answers because, again, these are liberal people who have been asked. And here's the thing. What I think is racist is thinking someone is too dumb to get an ID, is too dumb to use the internet and to Google where to get a vaccine, is too dumb to be able to find these places and do the things that they need to do. That's what I think shows the real racism, in my opinion. Of course, my opinion only. But, you know, all these people that get on these soapboxes and, oh, wow, that's racist, and that's this, and that's that, and that's this, and how? I mean, you have the president who literally made a comment about, well, they wouldn't know how to use, you know, how to look up on the internet or whatever, however he said it, the places to go. And so they're dumb. No different than the comments he's made about so many things. I mean, we can all look back at his 93 crime bill, all the other things he supported, how he did the eulogy for a KKK member. So, again, there's heavy racism somewhere else. The anger is misplaced because this is what happens. And then the media gets involved and they feed a narrative and they feed mistruths. I mean, there's even been fact checkers who usually don't check facts and they just, you know, it's half nonsense half the time, who have called President Biden out on the nonsense that he has said about the voter ID law being changed and so forth. Because everything he said basically was not very true. But we could do a whole video on that. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. The place where I come from. How I feel. So let's look at this together and let's just see, okay? Let's see. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. All right.
And I'm here in Berkeley, California to find out if voter ID laws suppress the black vote. Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far to say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of
What? What do you mean they're less likely to have the kinds of IDs that are required? Are you kidding me? Because black Americans don't go to work? What do you, what? Why wouldn't they have an ID? Why wouldn't they have a birth certificate? Why wouldn't they have a social security card? They were born. They do exist. I'm sure they pay taxes. This is my problem. This is the mentality. Now you're telling me these are the people that you want to stand up for you and say that's our Cist? It's not our Cist. Everybody needs to show an ID. You show an ID to go to an R-rated movie sometimes if they think you're too young. You show an ID to buy cigarettes, to buy alcohol, to buy fireworks, most places. You know, you have to have an ID to drive a car. You have to have an ID to get a job. You have to have an ID to pay your taxes. You have to have an ID to sign up for bank accounts or credit cards or CashApp or whatever. For a phone, for your utilities, for a place to live. You have to have an ID for all of those things. Why would you not need to show an ID to say, this is me and this is my vote? And furthermore, why would you not want to? Because what happens if somebody gets on, like, let's say they mass mailed a mail-in ballot, okay? So somebody steals your mail-in ballot before you even see it. Now you show up at the polling location to vote, but they've already cast that mail-in ballot. So now your vote's completely wiped out and diluted. I can't talk about it too much because YouTube will have a fit. So, but you see what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It's just a hypothetical of what could happen. Not that it ever has. Let's continue.
Don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain.
If any of my viewers are beautiful, black, intelligent, hardworking men or women, or, you know, oh my gosh, the word's like on the tip of my tongue. Whatever you decide, binary, non-binary, whatever, okay, transgender, whatever you are, you get what I'm saying, okay? I'm sure you pay for your internet or your phone data. I mean, if you're watching me right now and we're hanging out, please do not let people like this be the ones that are trying to fight for your rights, because they're really diluting them.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works. A lot of people have some.
This was cut out of the version of this that I saw before, and then I happened to just find the full one right before I did this. They don't have the knowledge of how to get on Google. Okay, Joe Biden Jr. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. And these are the people that are, I'm standing up for minorities. I'm standing up for my gosh. This is exactly what I say about KJ, and I'm not going to bring that up more than once. This is the soapbox that she constantly stands on, and this is my problem with it. Let's continue.
Phones, but you might not have data. For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or like they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of like black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, like you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the like.
So now you're all criminals. Okay, that's not our Cist at all. Please, you all, please understand that the people that CNN and that the far left and that all of them anymore try to tell you are our Cist really aren't the ones that are.
African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? Do you carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a
Of course. This girl's face says, oh, like, what?
Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Yeah, everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with, New York.
And that's also commendable about this this little video piece that they did, because they went and there was a young kid that seemed like he was on a school campus, like a college campus or somewhere. There was, a younger female, but probably starting to work. There was older people. So he's asking black men and women, in all different age ranges, etc., different walks in their life. And they all have ID, and they all knew how to get it, and they're not idiots. So they don't need you to make them out to be.
ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right?
Right? I agree.
With me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that, on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is, right here?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Do you have a problem getting there if you have to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone.
Imagine that. She goes to work and she uses the internet. It breaks my heart. It really does, because those voices are the loudest ones. The ones that are, we're helping you. We're standing up for minorities. This is our Cist. This is our Cist. The only reason they call it that is because that's what sells. That's what sells the divide. That's what sells their ratings. And that's what sells in politics for them. Because they're creating a problem that they can come and save you from. A problem that you never needed saved from to begin with, but they've then got the narrative going so far that you think you do. And then you think they're helping you, and everybody else is against you. And that's really not true. Mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. So guys, there's a little bit more to that, and I'll link it down below. You guys can look it up if you want to. It's not very long at all. But that's just one of the points is, we don't need to create these issues. And it's disgusting because these people that claim they're there to help and they're helping are really the ones that are calling black people idiots and stupid, and they don't know how to get on the internet, and they'd have to be able to pay for cable, or they'd have to be able to pay for internet provider, or they wouldn't have data. They'd have a phone, but they probably wouldn't be able to get data on it. How insulting is that? Because there's not white people that are dumb. There's not white people that don't work. There's not white people that don't have those things. But they still have access to them, but you don't include that. So again, I go back and I say to you all again, who you think is being arsist over these things really isn't. And they're simply trying to protect you and protect your vote. Because it does matter. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter how you identify. You don't have to identify at all. you still deserve to have your voice when it is time to cast a ballot, and not to have it diluted or taken away by people that shouldn't have been casting them and did in a nefarious manner. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know down in the comments section. Please, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. Have you seen this video go around? Clips of it, pieces of it? It turns my stomach, quite honestly. It just, I can't understand being that blatantly racist and insulting to anyone, no matter what color they are. And then claiming I'm helping them, and I'm standing up for them, and I'm standing up for their rights. No, you're trying to take them away. All while keeping everybody polarized and divided and apart over a narrative that just isn't true. That's my opinion, guys. But again, it's just my opinion. It's not facts. You do not have to agree with me, and I will still respect you just the same. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I send you out with love and positive energy and wishes of a good weekend for you and a blessings-filled week ahead. I hope that you have an amazing night. I hope you get good rest, and I hope that something good happens soon for all of you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you. Like the video if you can. Subscribe if you haven't. Hang out with me. Let me know what you want to talk about. If there's anything you've seen, anything you've heard that you feel is important to talk about. I told you we're going to get into these tough topics because they're important to me. The narrative that gets manipulated is important to me. The truth matters. And it's out there if you take the time to look for it. All right, guys, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Remember, giveaway at 500 and then at 1,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am just so blessed to have so many beautiful souls hanging out with me. I am going to do a Tom McDonald reaction this weekend, so if there's a certain song you want to hear, let me know. And thank you so much. Night, guys. For real though, ladies, these are literally the most comfortable leggings that I have ever owned, so I gotta put you onto this. Of course, they're all over TikTok, etc., etc., etc. I found ones for an extremely good deal on Amazon, so I will put that link down in the description box. They are amazing. I am definitely buying more. I am asking for my birthday for all the colors. I think it's coming up. We're getting there. But, yeah, amazing. So I had to put you onto them. And they really do, like, lift things up, I guess, a little bit. But they're flattering. They're comfortable. So comfortable. They're like, I don't know. It's amazing. I've never had a pair like them. So if you haven't tried them yet and you like to be comfortable, like I do, because I live in comfy clothes, then the link will be there for you.